What's up, y'all? It's Honest Movie Guy, and I'm back with another movie review. Today, I want to review a movie I saw this past weekend. I really enjoyed it. It is called Ford versus Ferrari, made this year. Recently came out. I was recommended to see it by a ton of people. A lot of my brothers told me, Kenny Q, Elon, McNally. A lot of people told me to go see it, and I went and I saw it. And I enjoyed it. It was a very good movie, and I'll show about it in this review. So, for those who forgot, this is how it works. First, I give you a synopsis of the movie, then I give you a spoiler-free review of the movie, and finally, I give you my honest rating and my honest recommendation. So, let's jump in. The synopsis for Ford versus Ferrari reads: American car designer Carroll Shelby and driver Ken Miles battle corporate interference, the law of physics, and their own personal demons to build a revolutionary race car for Ford and challenge Ferrari at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1966. Alright, so that sums it up. Carroll Shelby, played by Matt Damon, won the Le Mans previously and is hired by Ford to create a race car that can compete with Ferrari and beat Ferrari at the 1966 Le Mans. So he decides to get the best driver he can find, which is Ken Miles, played by Christian Bale. And from there, they go through their trials and tribulations to try to achieve the goal of winning the Le Mans and defeating Ferrari. Alright, so I want to start with the cast for this movie. You have Christian Bale, Matt Damon, John Berthenell, Josh Lucas, Noah Jupe, Catriona Belfay, Tracy Letts, Josh McKinnon, I think his name is. The cast was just phenomenal. If you're not familiar with some of the names I just said, I'm sure that if you search up these names on Google, you would see that you've seen a lot of movies with these people in. The cast was phenomenal. They all nailed their roles. Catriona was great as the wife of Ken Miles. Tracy Letts was great as Henry Ford II. Josh Lucas, as annoying as he was good as like the VP, kind of like the person that he was a douchebag of the movie. But he played his role very well. We hated him, which that means he did a good job. And, Noah Jupe was the son of Ken Miles. I loved him as well. He was very good. Alright, so that brings us to our leading men, which is Carroll Shelby and Ken Miles, played by Matt Damon and Christian Bale, respectively. They did an amazing job. I thought they had great chemistry together. It was phenomenal to watch them on screen. All the scenes that they shared together was very good. You could really feel that they had a great bond together. It seemed like they were already friends, and obviously in the movie, the characters kind of were. So it was nice to see that bond just like exhibited so well. They were both likable. You were rooting for them. I have no complaints. It was just a pleasure to watch them on screen together. I loved how Matt Damon really portrayed Shelby. I don't know much about the real life person who he was, but his character was great. He had just a certain type of flair and swag to him, and you liked him, and it was just great. And then Ken Miles, he was kind of like a spark plug, didn't take shit from nobody, was his own man, did things how he wanted to do it, and didn't, let anyone tell him what to do. And I loved him, and I loved his portrayal the portrayal of him by Christian Bale. So I got no complaints in terms of the cast. The actors did a phenomenal job, really helped make this movie a lot better than what it would have been, because obviously it is a great story, but if it was poorly acted and we didn't really like the character and didn't really connect with them, we wouldn't have really liked the movie. But I really connected with the characters. I really liked them. I empathized with them. I was rooting for them. I loved them. I really enjoyed them. Now, in terms of the plot, obviously it's based off a real true story of like the whole 1966 Le Mans. So they had a lot that they could have gone off. I tried doing some research on it. Couldn't really find everything, I guess, but it seemed like it was pretty faithful to the real life situation. It was a pretty faithful adaptation. So I commend them for that. I thought that it was a great story. I was entertained from the start to the finish with this story. I honestly, when it was done, I wanted more. I had no knowledge of it prior, so watching it and seeing how it all ended, I kind of wanted more. I thought it was gonna continue and reach greater heights, and and especially with how it ended, I wanted them. But I was very, very happy with how the story was. It was paced perfectly. It was great to see the development throughout with, Ken and Shelby, and then even the whole Ford, decision that, okay, they're gonna, join, the Le Mans to try to beat Ferrari, and then the different decisions made along the way, who they're bringing in, the different political, obstacles our characters had to go through and had to overcome, the different struggles with the car that they had to overcome, the different ideas. It was just great. I honestly just loved it. It was entertaining, man. It was just a great ride from start to finish. You will not be bored with this movie. You are going to be engaged, entertained. It will have your undivided attention the entire time, and you're going to be left wanting more. So I honestly enjoyed this movie. It was just a great experience in my opinion. It was worth the money to go pay and see this in theaters. Now, IMDb gave this movie an 8.3. I'm going to give this movie in I want to give it an 8.6. I'm going to give it higher than its rating because I think it was just a phenomenal movie. Great cast, great acting, great story. The way it was executed was great. Great pacing, was not boring. It was just a phenomenal movie. My main complaint, I don't really have one. The only reason why I guess I wouldn't give it a lot higher was it wasn't like an original story like that someone just came up with and was just an amazing movie. It was based off an adaptation of something that already happened. So that's the only reason why I might not give it like a crazy higher rating. However, I do think this was just a phenomenal movie. I do think that this should maybe be up for some Oscars, or at least the actors should be, because I thought they did a great job. And I do think that this is honestly one of the best movies that have come out in 2019. I think this is on par, with the level of the Joker. The only reason why I put the Joker higher is that the performance by Joaquin Phoenix was just phenomenal, out of this world. So that's the only reason why I put it a little higher than this movie. But in terms of story, I think Ford versus Ferrari will reach a lot more people, as it's kind of just, I don't want to say generic, but it's not like comic booky where it's kind of, focused on more of a different type of, audience. This one can reach a wider audience. So I recommend you guys to go out and watch Ford versus Ferrari. Pay to go see it in theaters. It's a great movie. Support it. Get the full experience. But if not, watch it as soon as you can. It's a great movie and I think you'll enjoy it. That's it for this review. I'm the Honest Movie Guy. Make sure to like and subscribe below and tune in to more videos on my channel.